My name is Dawn Davis, and this is my husband, Bob. We own our own photography and design company by the name of Bob and Dawn Davis Photography and Design.
We focus primarily on weddings and portraits, but my background is in photojournalism. I was a staff photographer at the Chicago Sun-Times for 14 years. So there isn't much that I haven't photographed, which really lends itself well to wedding and portrait photography. You have to hit the ground running, and we've managed to build a brand to aim towards the higher end clients, and that's our goal, is to kind of shoot those Super Bowl weddings that happen across the world. You know, being at the Sun-Times for a long time, and the mentality, we'll say, in the news industry is if it bleeds, it leads. And, you know, once you start your family and things of that nature, you realize there's more than bad news that goes on in the world, and you get a little bit burned out on it. And it's such a pleasure to be around people now on their best day versus being around them on their worst day. As a photographer, you're the one vendor during a wedding day who's going to be around them the most other than family. So it should be a really good fit, not just pictures. We're actually there to help provide an experience and capture these emotional storytelling moments. So Dawn's really done an amazing job building that brand, attracting those clients.
The rewards in this business are amazing. I can tell you that we've never worked harder in our lives.
And we know it's working because when we meet with our potential clients, people are always like, oh, I've read this about you, I feel like I know you, I know Dawn likes shoes, you know, Bob likes coffee. It builds that emotional connection.
Yeah, for sure.
And we're in an emotional industry. It's not editorial photography, it's not commercial, it's not advertising. So all of our clients make decisions based on emotion first. They want to be that love product instead of a need product.
You know, every wedding or portrait session or whatever, baby session, a mother goes out or a daughter goes out and finds her dress because she loves it, right? Why wouldn't you want that same? I don't want somebody to hire us because we're the cheapest and we're giving the most product. I really wanted people to connect with us and love us. And it should be no different for a wedding gown. I want them to feel the same way about us.
So the MPG workstation has been a great solution for Dawn because the technology is there to allow her to work at her pace because she's so quick with the keyboard. She sees the image when it comes up on the screen and she knows exactly where she wants to go with it in much the same way I do at the front end when I capture the image, how I'm going to light it, how I'm going to capture it. I'll call it addictive. You have a passion for seeing the image on the screen where I would rather shoot all day, and that's why we're a really good team, is because I have limited patience in front of a computer where she'll get in there and she'll dig in really creatively and see things that I don't see for the post-production.
Well, that's what makes us a good team. I mean, he takes a great picture, and when I finish that picture, he's like, that's exactly what I saw when I took that picture. So it really is it's a good match. So after Bob shoots a wedding, we come home and we download our images, and from that point forward, I will start post-processing them, going through, doing a cull, doing retouching and that kind of thing. And so it takes me a couple days to get through a wedding, and then once we're done, I upload everything for the client, and we go from there. And I start designing their books.
Does the MPG machine feel lighter?
It's fast as lightning. I can't. Yeah. It's fast as lightning. I mean, I'm blown away by the quality of it and the speed. It's crazy.
With this machine, the MPG workstation, it's seamless. It allows her to work at her pace. Where our older machines, albeit they were as fast as they could be at that time, oftentimes you'd be tapping your fingers with the spinning beach ball. And I don't think you really realized how good this machine was until you started using some of our older machines. You know, you'd go back to one of our other workstations and do something, you're like, oh my God, what's wrong with this computer? You're asking, you're like, nothing. It's just not the MPG workstation. So workflow is critical. The machines slow down because all of a sudden we have more data than we were using previously. And that's when I contacted OWC and they said, we need a solution here before I buy a new machine. And you spec'd it out, all solid state architecture, high-speed RAM, you know, the throughput, and even our QX2 storage solution is seamless as well because it connects via eSATA, so you can even work off of that.
I work off of it. I mean, I work off of it. Instead of putting everything on my hard drive, I work right off of the QX2. I love it. I mean, it's very fast.
So I run into a lot of technical challenges all the time. I've kind of come to the point where IT is blowing my mind a bit because it's really not something I wanted to get into.
Right.
So I kind of feel like OWC has my back because when I got my laptop,
Sure.
I wanted to maximize it. I talked to OWC, so we removed the optical bay and we added the solid state drive there and a solid state drive inside and then the high-speed RAM. And you gave me the confidence that I could do that myself with the tutorials, with the video, and technical support is never rushed. So I could call them up and say, am I doing this right? I feel like I have one too many screws, and I'm like, hold on, look at the video, and they'll stay on the line with me until I'm confident that I can handle this and move on. The SSD drives were huge for me. My current machine that I work from is a laptop. Dealing with images, you want to see as large of an image as possible. And many of the things that I do are on location, so I'll ingest and I'll begin a sort and edit and start posting images from my machine. So the SSD drives were a great solution for speed because time is money and time is also helping you meet deadlines. When I'm on location, everything comes into my laptop. It's backed up to the second SSD drive, which is in the optical bay internally because that's where I have lots of storage, but then it's also backed up onto an external hard drive. I also use these on-the-go drives as a solution to run Carbon Copy Cloner daily on my machine because should my machine fail, which again it can at any point in time, I have an up-to-date current backup from which I could boot up. So once I was on assignment in Paris, my laptop would not boot up. And instead of panicking, I took an on-the-go drive, I booted up from it, and I was back in business without ever panicking. All my software, email, passwords, it was just like working from my machine because it was safe and secure on a drive. We also use these on-the-go drives to shuttle images, large amounts of data, which would be just too slow to pump through the network between our workstations. And then also if I'm going to send images out to our editor, oftentimes when we're on deadline, we'll use Photographer's Edit. I'll put all the raw files on an on-the-go drive, FedEx them to them, and then they'll return them back to us on that drive. So they're great solutions. The build and the durability of all of the OWC products I've used has been outstanding. I've never had RAM fail me. I've never had a drive fail. IT, I know just enough to get me into trouble and cause a migraine headache. And whenever I'm feeling overwhelmed, I know I could call somebody at OWC and they're patient. They'll stay on the phone with me. I never feel rushed until I'm confident in whatever obstacle I'm trying to overcome, or if I'm seeking out new solutions. And OWC is always moving forward with those solutions, and it's someone that I'll call and rely and say, what's coming down the pike next? What can we look forward to? I view OWC as my partner. And I think anybody who's into storing, working with any type of digital media, be it video, audio, photography, which I can address, you need solid solutions. And oftentimes it's above our head. We're photographers, all we know is we capture the image, we download it, we work on it, and then we want to make sure it's all safe and secure. The IT part I've had to learn along the way. But without OWC, I wouldn't have learned as much as I do know now and wouldn't have the confidence level I have in our operating system. So I encourage everybody to make them your partner with your digital media and managing that.